welcome back. Today we're showcasing our Clubman's class. This is for the uninitiated. Our newbies generally start out in this class, so anyone can come along who wants to get a taste for on-road racing, turn up with basically any 1/10 scale on-road touring car of some description. Doesn't have to be a full race chassis. It can be an M chassis. It can be the ready to run cars, that sort of thing. And you can go out and have some fun and see whether or not you like it before you go down the track of spending money on a race car, like a proper race chassis in 21.5 or PCR. Great way to have some fun, great way to learn, and it's a great way for the juniors to come on in as well. And also those who are returning, who have been out of the scene for quite some time, just to get their eye back in. Um, 'Cause if you've been out of racing for a long period of time, technology changes. So, we want people to assimilate quite quickly and just have a feel. So it's a good, fun class. Lots of people having lots of fun. Lots of family members in there. We've got, as you can see, running away at the moment is Michael Vanderhaas picking up one of his children's cars for repairs. Both his children, just incidentally, when they are on their game, he can actually turn a decent lap or two. A young Mila, she's pretty fast. And Henry now has decided, that's his younger son, has decided that he wants to come back racing, and he is racing hard with her as well. So yeah, that's pretty much where it's at. It's a fun class. It's a good place to begin. As we can see, we've got some people who are racing this, who have got some pedigree to their name. We've got the Cardwells. Craig Cardwell joined us. Their family is synonymous in speedway circles, so really cool to see people like that turning up to our events and joining in the fun. We expect to see him. I think he's joined the club now, so and I think he's brought a 21.5 touring car, so he's moved on up already. Um, Greg Powney, you can see his name up on the display at the moment. He's the father of um, Ryan Pony, who had started out in Clubman's and then has worked into Super GT, is challenging for the title in Super GT at the moment, and now is starting to toe dip into 21.5 using our club car. So, really cool to see these people moving on up and stepping up into different classes. So we've got our second heat up. We sort of have some faster guys in this. We tend to split it out based on a little bit of knowledge of how the guys are going. Adam Croy, for example, he races in other classes as well. He's still getting himself organised to come across to 21.5 touring. But yeah, he's come a long way. Peter Field is a returner. He's heavily involved in Speedway on the bike side of Speedway. So those who don't know Speedway, there's cars, sprint cars, midgets, saloons, slot cars, and then there's also bikes as well. They have what they call a solo and a sidecar or side chairs. The side chairs are absolute madmen, hanging off the back of a bike, flinging around two people on it, just nuts, absolutely nuts. But he's involved in that, and he comes and does a bit of RC with us. He's got a good collection of some cool cars. I don't think he's got his his 32 coupe out there at the moment, but he runs a really cool looking 32 coupe. He's got a cool truck which he runs from time to time. So, this class is good for that sort of thing. And it's also good for testing other rules as well. So, yeah, like I said, it's a good class. The action is always on. Lots and lots of action, lots of marshalling required, unlike in other classes, as we can see there with a few people being caught up on that first corner coming underneath the timing loop. Yeah, so here we go. We're down into the final minute and a half of this qualifier two. We call them qualifiers, and that's just because of the way the race meeting's set up for our points paying classes. So if you come along, you'll get two qualifiers, and in a single final, you might be in the A or the B. End of the day, it doesn't really matter. The important part is about going out there and having fun and racing harder. and to the best of your ability, and meeting new people. So that's the important part. And then hopefully you'll move into a new class a little bit later on, something like TCR, which is a growing class, or 21.5, which is another growing class. Both have got quite strict rules around them in terms of motors and ESCs and tires and body shells and that sort of thing to keep it even. But yeah, they're cool classes. Um, just with the Clubman's class, predominantly most people come along with a Tamiya kit of some kind, or normally a TDO2, which is eligible for our GT class, so they can run in the Clubman's, and then if they feel confident enough, they can double down and get some extra laps and race for some points in GT as well. But it doesn't have to be strictly Tamiya. Kyosho, HPI, all have some chassis that are eligible for Super GT. So you can come along, start your racing in Clubman's after a couple of meetings, and then, move into doing both for a while. And then hopefully, getting enough experience to get some points and start challenging for a series lead, or coming along to a bigger event like our Tony Stevens Memorial Club Classic. So here we go. We're going into our finals now. So like you can see on the screen at the moment, we've got the B main up. Quite often guys end up in the B mains because some of them don't run transponders to count their laps, so that counts you as a zero. Whereas if you've got a transponder, you'll count laps and then you can go for the win. Yeah, so we'll just watch this roll on through. As looks like, as I was saying earlier, young Henry is driving really, really well. I'll just try and pick up on where his car is. We've got a couple of minutes left to run on the clock. Just wait for the timing to click around. Where has he disappeared to? Oh, he's gone out. He's crashed out or broken or something's happened. Uh, like I said, when he's got it on, he can drive. And same with Mila Vanderhaar. She there on this particular race day, she was using her dad's 13.5 uh, touring car, which is a very quick car indeed. And Michael can certainly wheel that thing around with the best of them. He did turn the steering and throttle down, so it wasn't so much of a handful for her. But yeah, she's definitely showing her worth, and I expect to see things changing with her in the not too distant future. Right, so here we go. We're finishing off the Clubman's B main. Straight after this, we'll have the A's, and you'll see some good racing there. We'll do a bit of commentary on that as well as they go around. Do apologise for the background sound quality. I recently updated my laptop for streaming and that sort of thing, and I'm still learning how the sound all goes together. So it's a little bit patchy at the moment, running multiple microphones to pick up all the background noise and race control voicing. But I'll get that sorted shortly. Right, here we go for the A main. We're also having some technical issues on the day as well, where our computer decided not to announce when the go button was. Not sure why that was. It was a bit of a marish day with a bit of rain to start out with. But these guys are off and racing. Challenging already, opening up a bit of a gap, I think. We've got in the one spot is Antonio. Um, Antonio runs in other classes as well. He's pretty quick, and he does some pretty cool paint jobs on his cars as well. So he comes from a bit of a drifting background, I believe. Casey Hawkins is in this as well. He can wheel. He's just gone past in the blue and yellow front wheel drive car. He's very quick in front wheel drive, quite hard to pass, the young guy. Him and his dad are well into the rabbit warren of this, racing both off road, on road, mini Z, you name it, they do it. And they're starting to get really, really fast. Here he goes again. The blue and yellow car just heading down the back straight now. Just wait for him to come back around. There he goes, cross the stripe. Got the orange car in behind as he's trying to make a move into the final corner down at the end of the back straight there before the switchback area. Camera angle today doesn't quite pick up the back of the track. We're a little bit low in height. But yeah, the track was pretty fast once we cleaned it up and got racing after all the rain overnight on that race meeting. Normally we're sitting over by the driver's stand, but we decided to move this time around because we had issues with power supply, so brought the race control a little further away, which actually worked quite well in terms of the meeting. So we're just about to finish this one off. Thank you for watching. Keep an eye on our socials. Come along to one of our events. And yeah, give us a like and subscribe on our North Harbour page. We'll see you again soon. Thank you very much.